number. Big numbers. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad in pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers. Big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she wanted like me cause her like she can't count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit on my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more.
Running free. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Devontae Freeman, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. This is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their Pro Bowl quarterback in his 8th season now in the league, Russell Wilson.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
380!
Mark 54 in your face.
They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph. This is the offense we're going to see coming up in this one, and Travis Kelce will be key.
What a tremendous weapon. weapon he is, especially in the red zone. Knows how to find the end zone when running his routes.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. A look at the starters now defensively for the Bears. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Not today, you are. Not today.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And the numbers for Latavius Murray last time out. 17 carries, 61 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week. It's a pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Travis Kelce. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their now 30-year-old quarterback, Cam Newton, MVP of the league back in 2015.
When I was watching film this week, I had to write a note to myself. 3 touchdown passes in an NFL game deserves respect, not ho-hum just because they throw it around all the time, and he got his respect. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's the ultimate vote of confidence from a week ago. Hey, look, he was great. Not his best game ever, but obviously was very good to garner that award. All the talk this week, though, was about, let's take that forward now. It's caught left side by John Brown. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Newton, that's complete to Taywan Taylor. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
180, 20, 56.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Check three.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Newton. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Now Ito Smith, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Game situation. Let's go. 51 to Mike.
20.
They'll try the air now with Newton. That is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Set. 20. 80.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Devontae Freeman. Touchdown number 15 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness. You got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs? Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. To throw is Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And taken right at the 35.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
Check. Walk 54. Here we go.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays, too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there and handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there.
20.
They'll run on first down. Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
It goes as a loss of 6, and now third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Tough spot here, 3rd and 18, following back-to-back running plays that went in the wrong direction. Newton now to throw. Man open left side is Brown. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 21 yards there on third down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Taywan Taylor, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Wilson. Throw left side to Higgins. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Check back.
On first down, Wilson. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. And the Lions Giants quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. After the sack on first down, Wilson. Complete. Richardson has it. The Lions on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they'll take on the always tough Green Bay Packers. Then in the afternoon window, all eyes will be on Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where it'll be the Steelers taking on the Cleveland Browns. And finally, on Monday Night Football, wrap up your Cyber Monday with the Vikings and the Seahawks from CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Time for our players' spotlight, and it focuses in here on Cam Newton. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love? Four verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Newton to throw. Wilson snags it left side.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Running right, this is Freeman. 12 yards there and a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Newton. To the right side, complete to Taylor. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and it passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The pass to Brown as he hauls it in. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ballgame. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On 1st and 10, Newton. And that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton, his 4th touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front.
The previous play is under review.
Pass complete to Trey Burton. Touchdown, Chicago.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Throwing is Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with the tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Paul Richardson. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
You always admire a guy who can go through his progressions and find the open receiver. I believe we just saw that there.
And we admire him just a little bit more when it goes for a touchdown. Extra point from McManus is good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
20.
On second down, here's Smith. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Great. Switch it. 49.
Back now at Ford Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
I'm coming. 20. Check. Crunch.
On third and short, Drake. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On second and 11 now. Newton pushing through the contact. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith.
Like the footwork back there. I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that. Great. Check it out. Mike 51.
Third and long, it's Newton. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So here come the Lions now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. To Shepard, complete over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive play.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Detroit. Paul Richardson. His second touchdown of the afternoon, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Newton. They'll find Taylor. That's complete. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On first down, it's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On the draw, this is Smith. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a lion that's shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 45-yard line.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Now Newton on first down. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Drake. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
20.
Now Newton. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
56, Mike, 56.
Newton to throw. Dancing to his left. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And the kick by Elliott is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there. It gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
So Russell Wilson in the offense. Down 24-21, 55 seconds remaining. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Wilson to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Third down and 3 yards to go.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Wilson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
Here we go. 180.
56. I got one.
I get it.
And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for Chicago, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.